Hello and welcome to Coffee with Dr. Carla. I'm Dr. Carla and I'm so glad that you're here with me. Our goal is to talk about mental health related issues and to end the stigma surrounding them. Today, I want to talk about the concept of here and now. Huge buzzword. Huge buzzword. I think people fling it around all the time. But most of the people who are talking about it kind of miss the mark with it. So, if we're thinking about the concept of here and now, we're talking about the concept that this moment, this second, this piece of time is the only thing that really matters. Okay? So, if I'm truly focusing in on the here and now, I'm focusing in on what's happening here as I'm breathing and sitting in this chair. As I'm talking to you, as I notice the flowers or my coffee cup, right? Or maybe the fuzziness in my slippers. That's the here and now. When most of us think about the here and now, we think about being present. And it usually sounds something like this in our head. Well, I'm here. I'm with you. But inside my head, I'm going, I forgot to do the laundry again. So it means there's no clean towels. I better make sure I go home and do that. And and last week I totally missed the mark on that presentation I had for work. And so next week when I do that, no, I'm still present here with you. What are you talking about? Right. So the idea of being in the here and now means that we're not worrying about what's going to happen in the next minute, the next day, the next week, the next month. And then we're not also worrying about what had already happened. Because the reality of it is, we can't change anything that had happened in the past. And I mean, we might be able to influence the future, but the reality of it is it's going to unfold based on the different choices that we make right now in this moment. Right. You know, if I choose to perhaps sit on my leg in a weird way, in this moment, that might be okay. And the next moment, it still might be okay. But as we move along 3 or 4 other moments, then maybe the outcome might be different. It might be, it might not. Maybe my foot will fall asleep, maybe my foot wouldn't fall asleep. All right, so why do we even care about the here and now? Like, why is it a buzzword and why are you talking about this, Dr. Carla? Well, I'm talking about it because what happens is we become so anxious about what's going to happen next that we forget that this moment that we're in right now is here for us to enjoy, right? It's here for us to live it. Or we become so depressed about what we did or didn't do in the past that we miss out on this exact moment, right? And so when people come into the cognitive clinic, for example, as clients, and they often talk about the fact that they're really anxious or they're really depressed, it's because they're not living in the here and now, right? If they stopped worrying about what could be or should be, or what was or what wasn't, and just focused on this moment, then things would be very different. Which brings us to the next point. Often, whatever's happening in this moment is uncomfortable. It's hard, right? So maybe in this moment, I'm feeling my heart racing super fast. And it doesn't normally do that. And I might feel overwhelmed by it. Or maybe in this moment, I'm feeling some really intense pain in my hips. And it's a bit scary, right? If I sit in the here and now and I just notice it, not try to fix it, not try to change it, just notice it, then I can come to a place where maybe I'm more at peace with it. And it sounds maybe a little, far-fetched or super easy to say, but sometimes just sitting in it is the best way to deal with it, right? This idea that I don't like it, I wish it would go away. But right now, in this moment, this is where I'm at. I find that anxiety and depression increase when we try to get rid of whatever that uncomfortable feeling is in this moment, right? So, an exercise that I like to do in order to help um, focus in on the here and now is a grounding technique called the five senses. And so, basically, what happens is this you take a look around and you name five things that you can see. So as I'm sitting here in this moment, I can see Eva. I can see the camera. I can see these beautiful flowers. I can see a candle over there. I can see my slippers. Five things I can see. All right. Then I name four things. Okay, four things that I can hear. Well, I can hear myself talking. I can hear a sound machine in the back. I can hear the dinging of the door letting us know someone just came in. I can hear the traffic outside. All right. Then it's three things that I can feel. Right? I can feel the fabric on the chair. I can feel the fuzziness of my slippers. Right. I can feel my hair. Right. And then we get to two things that I can smell. Somebody put some very yummy cinnamon in the oil diffuser this morning, and I could still smell that. Okay. And I could smell somebody has coffee brewing someplace too. I can smell that as well. And the last thing we're going to do is taste. And I actually just took a sip of my coffee, and so I can taste my coffee right now. Right? This grounds me to this place right now, here and now. It's not about the past. It's not about the future. It's in this moment. Okay? And even though I might still be feeling uncomfortable, what I find is that people get to a place where it's a little bit easier to deal with that uncomfortable. So, next time when you hear the word here and now, realize that it's this moment, not past or future, and that you can ground yourself by using the five senses to make sure that you're present right here, right now. So, until next time, remember you can change your thoughts, discover your potential, transform your life by focusing on your overall well being. And I hope that you continue to work on being the best you possible.